Everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the podcast. Today I have a very special guest, US youth cricketer, member of the under-19 team for the US, and a draftee by the Morrisville Cardinals, Mr. Sanjay Stanley. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast, man.
My pleasure. Good to be here.
How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. So, I like to start out with this question just to get the audience kind of introduced with you. If you had to introduce yourself, tell us your role on the cricket field. Like, what do you do?
I'm a top order batsman and I bowl a little bit of off spin as well.
All right. So, yeah, go for it.
What I do.
So, how'd you get into cricket?
Cricket, actually, when I was about 7, I remember just walking around, and then on the TV I saw Yuvraj Singh hit 6 sixers at a family get together or something like that. And that really drew my attention to the game. And ever since I saw that World Cup in 2007, and when India won the 2011 World Cup, that was an inspirational moment because I was in India at that time as well. So
okay, yeah. Well, we've seen that 2011 World Cup being a big impact on a lot of players here as well. So you mentioned Yuvraj Singh. Have you modeled your batting after him? And if not, who have you modeled your batting after?
I haven't really modeled my batting after him, but he's one of my favorite players. I mean, I would say like to be like Kohli. Bat like Kohli.
Yeah.
It's my role model in a lot of different ways. His work ethic, his attitude towards the game, his fitness, and a lot of other factors as well. But yeah, let's see.
Yeah. So you mentioned you do bowl off spin. How long have you been bowling off spin? Why'd you start bowling off spin? And how have you looked to continue to improve your off spin?
I actually started off as a wicketkeeper.
Okay.
But then in India, they kind of have this funny rule. So basically, after you grow past a certain height, they basically say you can't keep anymore.
Oh.
Yeah. So my coach eventually told me to start bowling off spin, and that kind of just clicked on the side.
Okay. So you mentioned you were bowling off spin against Argentina for the US under-19 team. You took 3 wickets for just 13 runs. What was that like, bowling out there, going to bowl off spin? You're mainly a batsman. What was it like, making a huge impact with the ball?
It was quite surprising. I didn't practice bowling that much, especially not Argentina. In Grenada, the first time I bowled, I got 4 wickets, and that was shocking because I didn't bowl for 2 months before that.
Okay.
And it was good to contribute in some way. Because we couldn't bat much during the qualifiers, the smaller teams, but always good to contribute.
Yeah.
And off spin now, it's modern day cricket. We have to be a 3-dimensional cricketer, right? Just can't bat. So got to be a good fielder, good batsman, and definitely got to work on my bowling as well.
So we mentioned you were part of the US under-19 team. What was that experience like? Being with all those guys and being with those coaches. What was it like being a part of that team?
Well, that was a really cool experience. The whole 3 months leading up to the qualifiers, all the preparation, and it was very professional, and the whole setup was a lot of fun with a good bunch of guys and good team spirit, a great coach. I really enjoyed my time and I learned a lot. I really hope we qualified, but
yeah,
I was unfortunate though.
Yeah. So like we said, you on the under-19 team, you took 3 wickets for them. Who would you credit your success to?
My success, No, I want to thank my parents, and then see my coaches here for the last 7 years. I've been working with Mr. Aaman who lives here. So he's been training me, but so there's also been a lot of other crucial members in the process. Obviously, got to thank God as well.
Yeah. So you play for TCL, one of the best leagues across the country, one of the best youth programs across the country. How do you think playing here has really helped you in your developmental process?
Actually, like a couple years back, so what used to happen is that our wickets here were extremely uneven, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you remember.
No, yeah.
So like a lot of players around the country were used to batting on cement. So whenever we went on tours, they just kind of hit through the line. But kind of playing on these uneven wickets kind of helped me sharpen my technique, be a little more tighter. That's actually really helped me in the past. But then obviously with the league coming up and having Church Street here and getting to practice on turf and the support from the local board, there's been a lot of games and a lot of interesting things happening around. That's actually really helped me. Tough conditions to bat here as well. Take outfields, difficult wickets.
Yeah,
that helps.
Yeah. Always have to stay sharp. Always are looking to improve, and you've obviously have done well here because you were selected into the minor league. How did you come to know that you were drafted by the Morrisville Cardinals?
Morrisville Cardinals. I first met with the owners, and then they told me, and then TCL obviously. And eventually it just came out. Since we didn't have any sort of formal tryout or anything.
Right.
It was just based on I was one of the domestic professionals.
Okay. So obviously you're in the minor league, but you're also just a normal kid as well. You have college to go to. So how do you plan to manage college and the minor league?
It's going to be quite difficult. I honestly don't know, but just got to manage time, I guess. High school was difficult. I switched over to homeschool, but with college being online now, it's not too bad.
Right.
But I got to really change things around next semester when things get back to normal.
Yeah. So we just mentioned school, and you mentioned that it was online, and COVID has been a thing that's just rocked the world so far. How has COVID affected your cricket? And you mentioned your school's online. So how has COVID affected your cricket, your training schedule? How has it affected all the things that you usually do to stay sharp and stay as good as you are?
I mean, at first we couldn't do much with all the restrictions going around. Like grounds were closed, no indoor facility, no gyms and all of that. But I actually had the chance to sharpen a few things I was weak at. I used this time to get mentally stronger. And then did a lot of track work, conditioning at the track, which helped my fitness. And then obviously I was working with Jessica and Bai. We both were just doing a lot of other things, which helped our cricket for sure.
Right. So COVID was a curveball that the world was not expecting, but you faced a couple curveballs yourself. You've had a couple injuries in the past couple months, not allowing you to play any cricket. I think if you go back to the beginning of this video, you see his hand in the cast. What has it been like? You can't play. The minor league has just started. Is it frustrating at all not being able to go out there and play with the minor league team?
Oh, yeah, definitely. It's frustrating because 2 months back I had rhabdo basically. Overtraining, and then ended up in the hospital, and I took a 1 month break, and then I got back, and in 2 weeks this happened.
Right.
So basically missing out the minor league and other crucial things coming around. It's extremely frustrating. I guess just gotta stay strong and then just look forward to the things to come. Just gotta keep working.
So what does the timetable look on that injury? Has the doctors given you anything like when does PT start, or have they told you anything like that?
Yeah, so I have pins in right now. So they're going to stay for 4 weeks. After that, probably 2 weeks of physical therapy. And I should be back into it.
All right. So your role kind of changed with the minor league team because you can't play. You did travel down to Atlanta. How has your role kind of been changed, and what is your role now that you aren't someone who can contribute on the field?
So since I'm one of the domestic professionals, I'm just with the senior guys, the leadership group. So I was just helping from the management side of things. I can't really play, but I was just with the team and helping out from those angles. Yeah.
So what's the atmosphere like in the team with the locker room or, just the atmosphere? Yeah. What's the atmosphere like in the Morrisville Cardinals team?
Actually, it's amazing. It's one of the best gel teams I've played for.
Mm-hmm.
It's a perfect mixture of youth and senior players, and then like very good players in the league as well. So it's like there's a lot of youthfulness in our team,
Right.
and at the same time there's a lot of experience as well.
Mm-hmm.
So there's the team's been gelling really well. A lot of respect, a lot of energy, and it's been amazing. And then in the years to come, I think with these youngsters in the side right now, Cardinals will be the side to beat.
Okay, we got it right here. You heard it first. Sanjay Stanley saying a couple of years and Cardinals are the team to beat. They definitely do have a strong team. We've seen it. We also saw you guys play Atlanta. And what was it like seeing Darpan Patel go out there and hit the way he was hitting?
It was unbelievable because he was just like, at one point it was like a video game or something.
Yeah.
He was hitting everything for six. Then after the game, I asked him, I was like, what do you do? And he's like, apparently just started playing a few years back. And he doesn't train at all. He's just like a normal graduate businessman.
That's some talent right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you just mentioned that you went up to him, you asked him for some advice, what do you do? Have you been doing that a lot with especially some of the senior players on the Morrisville Cardinals team and some of the players on the Atlanta side that you've played so far? Have you been going and saying, what have you done? What can I do? And things like that?
Yeah, I didn't do it this time, but in general, like I do ask a lot of questions to my senior players just to, sort of learn and see what they've done right, their process, and kind of try to align myself.
Mm-hmm.
So if they're here, then they must have done a few things right. So
Right.
I try to learn from that and add it to my routine and general process. Yeah.
Yeah. So they did some things right, and you also did some things right. You definitely did some things right to get to where you are. What advice would you give to the kids in the U.S. who want to be where you are, maybe in the minor league or the under-19 team? What advice would you give to those guys who want to be where you are?
I would definitely say you have to work really hard, but the most important thing is to focus on the process and not the result. You must have heard Dhoni say it, and it's one of my favorite sayings. So as long as you enjoy the process and you just keep working hard and you focus on that, the results are a byproduct. So they will automatically come. It's just about working hard, working smart, working with a purpose, really nailing things down and just focusing on the process to get to where you need to get to. Just do that and it'll automatically happen.
Some great advice there from Mr. Sanjay Stanley. Thank you so much for being on here. I really appreciate it. Wishing you all the best in the minor league with your injury and just in your future cricketing career as well as your life. Thank you so much. Future star for the Morrisville Cardinals, Mr. Sanjay Stanley.
Thanks, Aaman. Had a great time being here. All the best to you as well.
Thank you, man.